Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Fucking lit. I'm the guy. Steve Renazizi. Lit. I'm the guy. I'm the guy. Fucking lit. I'm the guy. Steve Renazizi. What's the odds? What's the odds? What's the odds? What's the odds? What's the odds?
Ladies and gentlemen, what's the odds with Steve Renazizi? I'm here in Appleton, Wisconsin, in undisclosed. Is it indisclosed or undisclosed? Which one's the right way to put it?
Yes.
Awesome. With my two other stupid fucking friends, Lucas and Brendan. I'm in Appleton, Wisconsin, in a hotel doing shows this weekend. First show was great last night, and then Valentine's Day shows tonight are sold out. Tomorrow's as well. So it's going to be a blast. So thank you to those of you who came to Appleton this weekend. It's -8 degrees here, which is it's ungodly, dude. It sucks. It's like just to go like there's a park. I'm looking at it like a nice. It's a gay park, but it's not like where you get like blowjobs, but it's like a park without any fields. You know, like any. I think parks without like baseball fields or a football or any sort of fields are just like stupid like little like gay parks, like with like a small little trail and like maybe a swing set. Dumb, right?
I
Parks
mean,
have to have a field
it's
to
an
be
aggressive
considered a park.
stance. It doesn't have
Yeah.
to have a field.
I don't think so. Anyway, you can't even go to this gay park because it's so cold outside. And so I'm like, God,
Yeah, I
it's
was upset it was 60 here.
60. I'm watching the
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 floodings?
Genet. Well,
We got
yeah.
we got a
Well,
lot
I'm
of
watching the
rain.
Genesis. God damn, man, you guys can't catch a break. They
Nope.
moved the Genesis golf tournament, which is normally at Riviera, but it ain't there no more. So they moved it down to San Diego for the weekend at Torrey Pines. So I was watching that. They got like tons of rain yesterday. Today
hmm
looks pretty nice. I don't know how it is there in LA.
It's good now, but like all those stores down on Melrose, those trendy stores where they have
Yeah.
six
Oh, they got
shoes and they're
flooded?
$10,000, they're all flooded.
Yeah, it's funny. I still follow the Groundlings, where I used to be not a member, but I took classes there and everything. And they had to cancel the shows because they got flooded, and they're all right on Melrose.
Yeah.
Um, well, look, here's the deal. Not a podcast necessarily is bad, but a game, the subject matter of a podcast is bad when you start off by talking about the weather.
Well, when the
We're here
weather's
to
biblical here, we just burned to the ground and now we're melting away with the water and the
I
mud
know,
and
and I'm freezing my tits off here.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it is not like it's not newsworthy, but it is. So,
Just
but
build a studio
really,
in Hawaii.
we could do that.
Good.
I would like that. I mean, I just need a little warm, dude. I don't want to fucking freeze my dick off. Just going from the first of all, I'm wearing Jordans, and they have so much snow and ice here. I almost slipped going into the fucking club last night. You got to go up like 10 flights of stairs to get up. I'm like outside. I almost slipped on the staircase. I feel like such an old man, but I'm like, yeah, I got to get down and warm. Like this next week, we have the kids have off from school. We're going skiing next week during the week in the middle of it. Um, but normally it's like normally I don't really care about getting warm. I would have rather, had I known it was going to be this cold, I would have gone to Florida. Like I might go to Florida for some spring training games in the middle of March just to get fucking thawed out because it's too cold. New York is like getting piles and piles of snow all the time. So anyway, look, what the fuck? Who gives a shit? I was almost off of it, Brent, and you dragged me back in. You know why we're talking about fucking the weather? Because the Super Bowl sucked a dick.
It
That's why.
did.
Okay, it
But
sucked a
we won
giant
our
dick.
bet. Couldn't have been more right.
We did.
Yeah. Eagles in the over.
We did. Oh shit! I didn't even check.
Yeah.
I gotta look. I didn't even look, dude. I lost so many bets that day on like drive to drive scenarios
Oh,
because
you were
Joan and I
live
love to.
betting?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
that's
Joan,
dangerous.
Jonah and I love to live bet on the Super Bowl, and because it's like you get four outcomes they give you for the most touchdown, field goal attempt,
Mhm.
turnover, or punt, and it's like here we go, and like he could not have gotten it would it was hard it was almost impossible to do what he did by getting like five or six wrong in a row. At one point it was third and 13. The Chiefs were backed up way back in their zone, and Jonah had put like $40 on punt, which would have won him like 90 and got him even, right? Mahone said, Jonah goes, I got this. His friend, who's also 12 years old, goes, Jonah, remember your luck, right? And then Jonah goes, yeah, that means he's going to throw a pick. Mahomes, snap to Mahomes, steps back, drops it right into fucking, what's his name's hands?
Cooper DeJean.
Cooper DeJean, and he
Yeah.
runs it back in. And I was like,
Uh,
oh, this
it's
isn't going to go
brutal.
well for you today. At that point, he was like, dealer out. I'm out. I'll take my $100 loss and I'll get the fuck out of here. Yeah, I mean, look, the game was a fucking disaster. It was everything you thought it could be in the worst case scenario where it's like one team looked un overmatched and unprepared kind of. I don't know, unprepared. There's really a lot of things you can do when you're getting
I
bullied.
don't think they were unprepared. I think they just faced a superior team.
Yeah, they
And
did.
if Vic Fangio's not in your top five all-time defensive coordinators, he should be after that. That was incredible. I mean,
I mean,
he's a
look,
guy. Look, I'm buddies with a
yeah,
Dolphins
I will
fan.
give you yes. Yeah, no,
And
I
he
understand. Go ahead, you
he
shit on him for a while.
shit on Fangio, said he was terrible. The players didn't want to buy in Miami, said his defense was too complex. And then we watched it evolve over time in Philadelphia, where the first 10 weeks they were not good. They gave up a lot of points. They didn't look like a good unit, even though they had talent. And then week 11, they just figured it out and it came together and they were the number one defense basically through the Super Bowl. And they didn't blitz one time
I
and
know,
got
dude.
six
That's the
sacks. That's
thing. That's
incredible.
what I'm saying. It's like you can look like a genius when you've got four fucking animals that get at the quarterback. When you can rush four, drop back seven, so there's nowhere now. You have nowhere to throw the ball, and now you should be able to scramble and get out, but they're containing the pocket and the lane so well, and they're getting to him. They got to Mahomes so quickly that he had no time to throw the ball at all.
And when he did,
So
they schemed and they were able to force turnovers.
at one point, they were saying the Statcast read zeros, 50% rush percentage, zero rushes.
Mhm.
Like they did not rush him once. They didn't send a blitz once. They just got to him with four people, and they knew, and that was the worst case scenario. Like that was the sort of the Achilles heel for them all year was like they kind of squeaked into wins, backed in the wins, and got a couple lucky things. Always with the heart of a champion, but they never once got punched in the fucking mouth like that, dude.
Yeah.
This game was over in the second half when they got the ball first and they went sack, 2 yard game. I was like, you just gave Andy Reid 20 minutes to figure out what the fuck is wrong with his offense. And that's what they came up with because that's the now they might have had three great plays drawn up. Maybe not great enough,
Hmm.
but when you have that kind of pressure, when you just are overmatched and getting beat up, they got beat the fuck up. There's nothing you can do about it. I mean, I maybe throw a screen, maybe throw it's like, but still, it's not like they're rushing six guys, seven guys, and you throw a screen. Now you have to block four guys downfield. You got a lot of like they're only rushing four. Throw a screen, you still have seven guys to fucking tackle them.
Yep.
Um, yeah, again, I don't think it was a thing where Andy Reid didn't try to make adjustments or was under. I think they, everybody's got a plan till you get punched in the fucking face, and that's what happened. Philly punched him in the face and never let him off the ground and never stopped punching him in the face. And my only regret is that they didn't win by a shutout. Like they could have won by a shutout, and had they had shut them out, that would have been the greatest one-way beating in the history of the NFL in a big game in the
Yeah.
NFL.
I mean, the two touchdowns at the end were garbage. but that gave us
Yeah,
the over. We needed that. We needed them to get those
we
points.
did. I was
Um,
wondering at one point, yeah, I mean, I guess it was like, are they going to score at all?
mhm.
You needed it. I mean, it helped out with whatever, a lot of different people's bets. Xavier Worthy got a touchdown.
I will say that pass to Worthy was beautiful. That'll
Yeah.
get lost in the shuffle of everything, and it was a beatdown, but that pass from Mahomes to Worthy was, I mean, that
But
was
also,
money.
also, it was because there was a free play. And so he knew he had, like, I got a free play. And plus, I'm going to go for it. I have the fastest guy out there. So I'm going to go for it. But he
Hmm.
had to. Like, it wasn't like that was there all game. That was not there all game. At no point. I mean, because you saw a couple plays later, he got strip sacked. So he was trying to throw the ball deep again. And, it was like they were all over him the entire game. Never gave him a chance. I mean, he he got to, like, I think the over under for him for rushing yards was 15, and he got there like on the last minute and a half, those last two drives. So it wasn't like he had a day rushing.
Hmm.
It was a complete and utter beatdown.
Yeah.
It was
Kelsey didn't show
horrible from
up.
the Kelsey, dude.
He looked
Did you see that
slow. He
one
looked
play that's going
tired.
around the internet about him just staring at Mahomes while he's running around for his life? Have you seen
Hmm.
that one?
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude. Do they do like film? Like, do they do like an exit interview? Like, will they watch this film and be like,
Oh yeah.
is this the only one you just leave alone?
I would
Like,
imagine
does the
they'll go
whole
over
team
it.
get together? Like on like Monday, they would watch the film from that game. Would we fuck up? Like, does anyone watch this film? Because again, I don't know what you're going to learn from it, but
That's
you
the only
could
way
see
you get
some.
better is you watch it and you go, what did we do wrong? How can we improve? They definitely
I
do
guess
exit
my point
interviews.
is, there's no way Travis Kelsey has not seen himself on film
Yeah. Well, did you
giving.
hear? So before the Super Bowl, he was in every interview, I've got more years of football in me. I've got more. And then after the Super Bowl, his tune changed to, well, I got a lot to think about. And it sounds like he might actually retire.
Yeah, it's like,
The Eagles beat the will to play football out of Travis Kelsey.
think about it, dude. He has to know at this point that he's losing money by playing football. If
Yeah.
he's done playing football, gets her pregnant, goes on tour, he could do his podcast every week with his brother from wherever the fuck the tour bus is or the tour plane or whatever. They can do it. They don't have to be together. Uh, they can, and he can, become the next Michael Strahan, where he can, become like a two-way personality. The money's there to be made.
Hmm.
I think that everything is fun. Football is fun. Going to the Super Bowl every year is fun until you get fucking annihilated in front of your girlfriend and the entire Western and free world, basically annihilated.
Yeah, and that 70s pimp suit doesn't look so awesome after you
Oh,
lose
that's what I was gonna say, dude.
40 to 22. You look like a
Poor
goof
planning.
walking sad to the
You gotta
suite.
have a. You gotta have a. You gotta have a. We just lost that. You gotta have three
Yeah,
outfits
have an
now.
outfit change.
You gotta have three options, right? You got to have, we just got the shit beat out of us out. You have to have that day.
Yeah.
It should be all black, dude. You should have walked out with a black fucking baseball cap with no writing on it, just black, a black hoodie like this. This is how you should have walked out of the Super Bowl, like this. Let's get in the car. You got to walk like fucking Travolta in the Walk of Shame over the fucking Verrazano Bridge, dude. That's like, what the fuck, man? What the fuck? I wasn't buying the look on the way in before they got the shit beat out of them.
Yeah.
I turned to Tracy, I go, Trey, is like, did she say yes to this? Did she sign off on this outfit? Again, I don't give a fuck, dude. I know guys wear crazy shit, crazier than that. But it almost looked like he was hosting SNL and he was in the middle of a costume change. Like, it looked like a costume.
Yeah.
It didn't look like a style. It looked like he was going to a costume party. And then it looked like he was dressed. He was at a funeral dressed like he was at a costume party. It didn't fit in at all. It was pretty terrible. Even the national anthem, there's controversy over that. Some sports books aren't paying out. I don't know if you heard about this.
Yeah.
Is that
John
because he
Baptiste.
repeated the lines?
Well, there's that. And then also, did you know that the time doesn't start until they start to sing? So there was a lot of preamble a lot of piano preamble.
Hmm.
So people had assumed that's the beginning of the fucking national anthem. So I know there was a little bit. I mean, not that there's like, the the sports books are hinging their quarterly income on the fact of whether this is a thing, but it really like the coin toss is one thing, but like the national anthem bet, it's like these are things that people love to do. We got to get some parameters together.
Hmm.
All right, get it right. What color was the Gatorade? I heard Homeboy say it was green. I thought it was yellow.
Yeah, in the broadcast he said
Yellow.
green. It was 100% yellow, which is what it
Yeah,
was
right.
in
What
the
am I? I'm
NFC
like, am I
Championship.
colorblind now? What's going on here?
100% yellow.
100%, right?
Hmm.
Mhm.
I don't even. Is there green Gatorade? He sucked.
No.
Who's that? Kevin Nagan? Not Nagan. Who did the Kevin Burkhardt? Right? Who
Mhm.
did the broadcast? It was
Him and
it's
Brady,
Brady and yeah.
he sucked,
both of
Burkhardt.
them, that was their first, and
They
hopefully,
sucked.
hopefully it'll be their last, at least for a
Well,
while.
they're the lead guy. They rotate, so it's a 4-year thing. So Fox had it this year. Next year it'll be whatever, ABC, CBS, NBC, and then it'll be fucking Brady again.
Hmm.
Or unless they get, I don't know, fuck streaming service Jimmy's in there. Anyway, the point is this: what went on during this halftime is the most important thing that's ever happened in the Super Bowl. Okay. Um, A, nobody went with my idea of Drake coming out to do They Not Like Us together at the end. And for have Drake, I would have let Drake write his own verse about me and like kind of battle rapped it back and forth a little bit. That would have been fun. And it would have been a nice little handshake. God, these guys aren't going to kill each other. They're not going to fucking kill each other. So what are we pretending like this is a fucking real beef for? Anyway, um, he was wearing my wife's jeans, Kendrick Lamar, which was a huge, huge talk of the thing at our Super Bowl party. Everyone was going off about the flare jeans. Uh, you know, the Super Bowl I didn't realize is like it's Jay-Z's baby. Like the NFL, I think has sort of done a thing and probably smart. They've sort of farmed it out to Apple Music and Jay-Z to kind of curate the Super Bowl halftime show. Um, I'm at a party with some friends who are my age, but they're, Long Island people. So they're a little different. They're not like, they weren't psyched about the halftime show. They didn't know any of the song.
Hmm.
And then like, there were a couple parents of our parents there. And it's like, that's not for them. But you know what? That's not who like the NFL is going to get the guys sitting there with their arms crossed going, who the fuck is this? No matter what. They're watching the game.
Hmm.
The halftime show is to bring in people that don't give a shit about football. And so I think they do a good job of that. I don't know this year necessarily. They might want to. In the last couple of years, it's been a little bit heavy of like hip hop and this and that. They might want to branch out to like, I don't know, like maybe even next year you do like a Jelly Roll, like Post Malone, and like a little country sort of vibe, and what's Chris Stapleton, one of the like something. I don't know. I'm just saying, like, but then again, those people that are fans of those guys are probably already watching the Super Bowl anyway. So to my point, it's not for everyone. But what did you guys think? I mean, I liked it, but
I couldn't name one Kendrick Lamar song. I thought it was great. I have
I
no
like.
idea how many songs he sang. It all
Yeah,
blended well, but I thought the stage direction, the setup, the video game controller, I thought
yeah.
it was all really
As
fucking cool.
soon as the stage they lit up like that big wide shot, I was like, oh sweet, Squid Games. And my son goes, no, it's a controller, you idiot. And I was like, oh, I was like,
Yeah, I thought it was
damn,
great.
dude.
He put on a hell of a show.
Yeah, and he did the song. Everyone, I like the way he teased it a little bit, teased it. Uh, they're not going to get sued. No one's going to get really that badly in trouble, although it could. You never know. It's America. Who the fuck knows? But He had to do that song. Everyone wanted to do that song. I don't know at the end, some guy Mustard came out. Like the kids went crazy. I don't know who Mustard is. That is like, yeah, Mustard. And the guy didn't even rap, I don't think, Mustard. Do you know Mustard?
No, no
Don't know
mustard.
Mustard. I loved Uncle Sam though.
He was great. I did not
I
know
can't.
that what's her name was in it though.
Serena.
Serena Williams. Yeah. I didn't like they didn't really kind of give her
Yeah, Cassie
a
saw
lot of
her and then freaked out, like, oh wow, she's dancing.
yeah, and then I guess the big dig is that her and SZA were all ex-girlfriends of Drake.
Hmm.
So this is a thing where this is a and then Stephen A. Smith made a pretty good point. And I don't know how you guys feel about this, but Serena Williams, if it is a thing, like fuck you, Drake, right? Serena Williams is married with two kids right now. Like I don't know how I would feel about my wife getting involved in her ex-boyfriend's beef with another rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like however you may feel is one thing. You may feel like vindicated or whatever, but like just you gotta I don't know. I would be like, do that on your own, like privately.
Yeah,
Like,
that
would you
and
want
she's not just married to a guy, she's married, isn't he the founder of like Reddit?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's
yeah. I mean, it
worth
doesn't matter
hundreds
what the
of
fuck.
millions of
I don't care.
dollars.
Yeah, look, she's not a loser. Okay, but even if she married a fucking plumber, you know what? If she married a plumber, he would have been like, "Hey, you're not fucking doing that, okay? I'm not
Yeah,
having my
probably.
wife out there whoring it up at the halftime show, pining over her old boyfriend. It ain't happening." I mean, Brenton, imagine Cassie's last boyfriend was fucking Lil Wayne, and now he's out there with and Cassie wants to go dance with his, arch enemy at this halftime Super Bowl. Like, would you be? Oh, there she is holding up the baby. There's Mama. What the
Well,
fuck, man?
I mean, her last boyfriend was 6'3", so if she wants to go and hang out with him, there's not a lot that I can say to that, can I?
Great, but my point is like, let's
I
not
give,
get
yeah,
involved
I
with
get
the
what you said.
exes
Exactly. But
at all.
I'm saying this dude is like a powerful tech guy. Like they have better things they could be doing with their time. But I mean, it's a way for her to stay relevant. She shows up on the Super Bowl stage. Now she'll pop in two or three ads and she'll get on some show, and it's all just
I
about
think it
keeping
sucks
yourself
because
in
she's
the
the
public
best
space.
female tennis player in the world, and I think a lot of people consider her the best tennis player in the world. But then again, it's just like that doesn't that doesn't add up to a lot in America. Unfortunately, it doesn't in America.
Yeah.
And so you got to keep yourself like I was watching TGL, the golf thing, the ESPN golf thing, and like her husband owns he's a owner of like they have owners of these teams. So her husband, so she's at all the TGL things. So she's on the mic, she's doing commentating and stuff. So yes, I see that there is a need to be out in the limelight, bro. I have the opposite of that need. If you gave me Serena Williams money, you would never, ever, ever, ever see me again. Never,
Completely agree.
ever. What is going on that you hate yourself that much that you can't just go away? Teach lessons, give lessons. I don't know. It just, I didn't think about that. I didn't because I didn't know that she was. But when Stephen A. Smith brought that up, I was like, yeah, that is a good fucking point, dude. I wouldn't want my wife out there. So it was interesting. Um, it felt longer the halftime than normal. Did it feel longer? I didn't. I
I
never
didn't
really
really
remember them
notice that it
talking
was.
like
Yeah. About
they
average.
do like the talk about like the first half was a real piece of shit, blah blah blah. Like 3 minutes of that, then a commercial, then they come back, go to the halftime show, and I thought after the halftime they just had like a long set of like maybe 3 or 4 minutes of commercials, and then they're coming back maybe 2 minutes of like all right this has been great, and then we right back to second half. But they did like another wrap up again, bookended by like huge sets of commercials, so it felt like I don't know, it felt long.
Mhm.
I think as they get bigger, of course, it's like a whole stage production now.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but there's like a set time. It's like 20 minutes. It's supposed to be like it's 5 minutes longer or 10 minutes longer than a normal halftime. It's what everyone freaks out. And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, this is the NFL giving Kansas City a little more time to lick their wounds, get shit right. Like it's like if a boxer's getting the shit beat out of him, and you're like, after in between the rounds when and then they all right, let's go, and then the guy's still pulling the fucking stool away and giving him extra time to breathe. That's what I thought was going on. But as soon as they came out and got fucking their ass kicked again the first drive. Although I will say the first drive of the game, the AJ Brown pass interference, were you like, here we go again. This is gonna be fucked.
So I watched that play. Cassie was working. She had to work through the Super Bowl because Hulu streams and millions of people, et cetera, et cetera. And I said out loud.
Wait, was she home or were you there with her?
No, she was here. And I said out loud.
She's on a computer,
she's on a computer making sure that everything is working for Hulu. But I said
wait,
out
can I ask
loud,
another question? Hold on.
Yes.
Does she have to watch the commercials or can she watch the commercials or is she like?
Yeah, she can watch. So she was the one who shouted out, "Oh, there's Chelsea Skidmore." Like I didn't notice in the ad, and she saw that immediately.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know Chelsea was.
Do you remember the ad that was all about tits, and then it was
what?
Oh, you missed the boob ad? There was a whole ad. Yeah, there was a whole ad. It was just all zoomed in on tits, cutting to different tits.
Wait, they showed Chelsea Skidmore's tits on.
She was breastfeeding in the commercial, and then it was about getting a mammogram.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I can't believe you missed that.
Holy shit!
You watched all of the.
Is Steven
Dorito
Randolph
ads.
Okay with this? Does he know that?
I'm sure he's fine.
I mean,
but I said out loud when that play happened, there is no way they're calling that pass interference. And then I saw the flag, and then she started laughing because obviously she's sat watching me watch the Chiefs get call after call all year. And she's very adamant about how it's not fixed. And I don't think it's fixed, but I definitely think there's bias calls. And she said, there's no way.
Yep.
And then she saw that and was like, okay, yeah, fine. But I will say the officiating was balanced this game. It was hilarious that Chiefs fans were saying that the officiating was horrible and they stole the game. And
I thought the helmet to helmet on Goddard was not egregious, but like way more clear than the pass interference call.
Absolutely.
On AJ Brown.
Absolutely.
I'm like, that's the one that I'm like, that doesn't. So I seem like those two penalties kind of balance themselves out, and from there on out, it was pretty equal. Or
the Chiefs actually got called for holding. It was incredible.
I mean, it was hold or survive, dude. Hold and survive. How could you not? They
did that
probably
last
held
year
on every single
Francisco.
play. Yeah, but at least and I'm sure there's a lot of letters written previous to the Super Bowl and everything. Like, we're going to constantly watch this year. And it was a bad year to choose because they had to hold. They had to hold. And they probably, the rest are probably like, dude, we can't throw the flag every single time, although we could. That's my thing. It's like, don't they have the video replay in instant like time? Is that AJ Brown call so one-sided 100% that you can't just, I don't know. I guess that's why they do it. If it doesn't look like it should be completely reversed.
Lucas, I don't know if you can pull it up, but I didn't like the way the ref threw the flag on that.
What do you mean? What did he throw it like?
It was just like he had his hand already down by the flag, and it was real slick, his left hand, and they just kind of squirted the flag out. Like, it was very much like, oh, this has to be a penalty because this was a big play for Philly. That's when I was like, this better not.
Like, he threw it on the down low, or like he was
it was it wasn't like, I pull it out and I make it dramatic and I toss it. It was very much like, okay, there has to be a flag on this play because they just completed a big pass. It was very, very slick.
Yeah, Mahomes didn't seem to get any pressure, even when he got bashed in the head at the end of the game. They could have thrown a flag for that.
That's not a penalty because he had already fumbled. He lost possession of the ball, so he loses that like quarterback protection status in the pocket. That's how
I understand, but it was like so bang bang that it was almost like when he threw that arm, he didn't know. Like, I don't think he assumed the ball was out already. I think that arm was coming whether he was fucking, whether he fumbled or not. Is my point.
Overall, they called a fairly fair game. They didn't make any egregious mistakes, I think. The pass interference on AJ was a little soft, but you could see it because he did hit the face mask. I wouldn't have called it, but what do I know? But watch he's so slick.
Uh,
It's like he
let's see.
knew if this happens, I gotta get rid of this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the only reason it's because it hit the helmet is his face. Let's see this fucking slick bastard. Yeah, they pulled it out. Um, yeah, I mean, look, how could they swing it one way, or how could they do it? They were getting the shit beat out of them the entire game.
Yeah.
It was never competitive. And again, look, maybe to go back to the other point, Kevin Burkhardt and I was about to say Romo and Brady had a tough job. It's tough to call a one way beat down Super Bowl and make it seem like it's going to be awesome.
Well, I just think Brady needs to he's a smart guy. He knows the game as much as anybody, but dude, talk about the current players, have some stories, have some stats. We don't need to hear about how you were in the Super Bowl and what you did and what you were going through. Like, we already saw that. Let's talk about these guys that are on the field. It's just annoying. Every analogy he makes is about him in the Super Bowl.
Well, that's all he has, dude. And plus,
I
he's got to
know
go
he's
about. He's like, oh, I mean, of course he's going to go. Like, we were down and we thought we could come back and win. You got to keep people watching the fucking game. Although, who's going to really turn it off?
yeah,
Um,
no one's tuning it out
I mean, they literally they move
because
everything around. The golf ended before.
they'll still watch just for the commercials.
Yeah, everybody wants to watch. I mean, I wish I saw this big tit commercial. I'm so pissed
I
off.
can't believe you missed that.
I got to. Can we pull this up, Lucas?
You know
Can
what
you
I'm
find
talking
this
about,
tit
right,
commercial?
Lucas?
I know what you're
I want to
talking
see this
about, but
titty commercial.
what do I Google? I'm just going to
Super
Google
Bowl
exact.
boob commercial.
Super Bowl tit commercial. You know what else I found out? I'm like 100% gray now. It's pretty much,
Oh wow.
yeah, dude. I don't know if it all just started happening, but
Wait, that's natural?
that's it. That's all natural now, dude. It like all just turned gray. I think driving with Jackson is this is what's doing to me. I'm teaching him how to drive a car, dude.
Uh,
We went through traffic circles the other day. Holy. He's like, how do I know when to get out? I go, just you gotta push. you gotta you gotta push the car next like you just gotta get out of the get out of the way, dude. Traffic circles are hard to explain. Anyway, I want to see these titties. All right. Yeah. This was a commercial?
this was the commercial.
Awesome.
What were you doing that you missed this?
I don't know, dude. It was chaos at my fucking at the party. Whoa, Chelsea! I would not even have noticed. Oh, I remember that from Austin Powers.
Mm-hmm.
And then what does he grab her tits? No. Oh, thank God. All right. Hot girls tits, tits. This is a great
That's
commercial.
Josh Allen's fiance.
Nice. Oh, and then it's a breast win.
No.
Oh, it's cancer?
Yeah.
I thought it was for a bra.
No.
That sucks. Damn, dude. No wonder that didn't stand out. Um, was that your favorite commercial? I
I
like the
think
seal. I
I
like
think
seal turning into a seal,
I
dude.
liked the seal one, but I saw that on Twitter before the game,
Oh,
and I
you
think
did?
that's ruining the ads is everything leaking online
Well,
beforehand. It sucks. So I like that one, but I
speaking
like
of,
the Eugene Levy eyebrows as well.
that was fun.
And then
Speaking of, I saw. Oh, go ahead.
well, I was gonna say, and then who was it? Doritos or Pringles that like stole the ad like a quarter later, and they did the mustache flying off and flying around.
Oh, I didn't see that. Wow, I wonder if like advertising companies sort of, it's like if they have to like kind of check in with each other to see if anyone's stepping on anyone else's.
I
I mean,
mean,
I'm
it
sure
was
you don't, but
pretty egregious.
I didn't see that. I didn't
Like the
notice that.
same ad.
Advertising companies are fun. Look, I'm not a huge superhero comic book guy, but I'm here in Appleton. It's 4 degrees, and Jeffrey Baldinger's here. So him and he's featuring for me this weekend. So him and I went to see the new Avengers movie this morning, and again, I don't really know a lot about this stuff, but all I know is like it's not a good. Like I knew going in that Harrison Ford turns into a Hulk.
Hmm.
Okay, did you know that? You saw the trailer, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, everyone's seen it, right? Now, would you write a movie that the entire movie was dependent on if a moment happened, and that moment was the moment that you showed in the fucking trailer? Like the entire 2 hour and 20-minute movie is dependent upon will this man, the president of the United States, go crazy and actually Hulk out? And with 10 minutes left, you're like, I think he's gonna, because we saw it in the fucking trailer. It was so, I couldn't believe it. I go, am I being played here? Is this movie this bad that this is the whole third act is pivoted and pivotal. A lot of P words on the fact that this guy is going to get angry enough and turn into the Hulk. And
Like,
spoiler alert, not that I have to, he fucking does.
can I ask?
So
So
what?
you probably had no idea what was going on
No.
most of the movie because you haven't seen most of them, I'm guessing, and then you just decide, oh, I'm going
Yes.
to go see the 31st one in this sequence of
Right.
films that you have to watch literally everyone to understand everything.
Fine. You know what then? I agree with you.
You might
Yes.
as well
But
just
then I
watched
talked to
it in
Baldinger.
Spanish.
He knows everything about this shit. And he goes, they're so stupid for doing that. They gave the whole movie away. So I go, I know what I'm talking about. I could
Yeah.
be a studio head.
Well, yeah,
I could
I
be an
get that. I'm just
executive.
saying it would make it a little bit more enjoyable if you had any idea. Like you're going, I thought Chris Evans was Captain America. What is this shit?
No, dude. There's a new black guy.
Yeah, well, he's
Mackie.
he's not a new
Anthony
black.
Mackie.
He's been in all the movies. He
No, but
just
the new Captain America is a
yeah.
black guy.
I'm just
Anthony
saying
Mackie.
you went into a thing completely blind where maybe if you had context you would have enjoyed it more. But yeah,
Regardless, I still found a
I get
humongous
it.
flaw in the middle of the thing.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
don't have to be like, I've never been on a boat before, but I'm on the Titanic and I think it's fucking sinking. Okay.
But
You
give
don't have to be a
Marvel
ship expert.
some credit because when Disney bought them, they paid almost nothing for it. They weren't really making money, and they didn't think they were going to have this many movies in and have all these. They call them phases. They literally have phases of these chunks of films. So the fact that they're still making them and it's still probably going to make $200 million is insane.
Yeah. I mean, they got my money. I went to the matinee 10 a.m., dude. They got $7. I couldn't believe it. I was like, yes. Midwest pricing and matinees coming
Yeah,
together.
that's the cost of a
And a
plastic
recline
straw out
seat.
here.
Oh, dude, the popcorn was more expensive. I had breakfast
Mhm.
popcorn. All right. Anyway, the point is advertising sucks because they leak this shit beforehand and it takes
Yeah.
the sting out of seeing the commercial for the first time.
Hmm.
Let's get back to was there any point, and I'm sure at some point over the last week since the game happened, where have you done that game where you're like, what if we had beaten the Chiefs? Could we have done better, worse,
I don't
won?
think we would have done any better. I think the only thing that would have changed was Saquon Barkley would have ran for 150 yards. The Chiefs
Yeah.
did a great job shutting him down, but that was their strength. And I don't think we would have been able to contain him like that for sure. Could Josh have done a little bit better? Maybe because, the Bills' offensive line gave up the fewest sacks on the season. So they could have given him more time, and
Probably
he's
more healthy. That they had to move Thuney from left tackle to left guard,
yeah,
and they so that
yeah.
like you guys probably were more healthy going into the game across the line,
Hmm.
or would have been, but
But I don't know. This Eagles team, the roster is so well constructed and everything you saw it from week 11 on, they just kind of figured it all out. Whereas last year they collapsed around that time.
yeah.
They were
But they're
destined.
going to
I
do the
don't.
same thing next year, dude. They're going to lose a coordinator. They lost Kellen
Mhm,
Moore.
mhm.
Fangio's going to still be there, but we'll see who they bring in to run the offense. It's going to be Jalen Hurts' new coordinator for the fourth to fifth time in 6 years or something like that. So a lot of different heads. You saw how well that goes on. It only takes a little bit in that locker room to get all fucked up. Everybody get
Yeah.
out of joint. So it's not a thing where you're like, oh shit, they're running it back with everyone. Like they got everybody, all the pieces, because they're going to lose a couple. They're losing basically their entire linebacking core, or they're all free agents. Graham, all those guys. So there's going to be some. They're not coming back. This exact same, but they do look very, very healthy and primed, and Howie Roseman's a great GM and can, he figures stuff out.
Did you
So,
see him? He got hit in the head with a beer can.
Yeah.
oh, I saw it right before we started the podcast. I was going through my phone and I saw he had a gigantic like
Yeah.
red line right
Well,
here.
he's cut. He had like a cut from where it dinged him.
So wait, someone probably tossed him a beer and he couldn't catch it and it hit his fucking head?
Or a fan just threw it. I don't know. I just saw his
Oh,
speech where
Philly.
he or Schefter quoted his speech and said he bleeds for the city.
Oh my God, look at that fuck. He looks like Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Damn, dude. Look at him. He's like, oh, I got my sunglasses. He wanted to look so cool and he gets blasted in the fucking head. I really
Still
hope he
looks
was trying
cool.
to catch it and those OJ gloves got in the way and he couldn't catch it. That would be the only
Yeah, he was
good thing.
probably
But I
up on the
mean,
bus and someone from down below threw him up a
that
beer
sucks.
and he doesn't play football.
No, he doesn't. He only picks the football players.
Hmm.
That's why, by the way, at stadiums now, I don't in arenas, I don't know about the ones out like Madison Square Garden, if you want a water bottle, they take the top off. No tops.
Yeah.
You can't turn it into a weapon.
Yeah, they do that out here. They do it at concerts and stuff. Um,
Um,
we can't
do
be
you know what
trusted.
Ari does? He brings his own tops.
Of course he does.
Pocket full of tops, dude.
Well, they don't set off the metal
I
detector.
know. We're at the World Series, and I'm like, "Oh, Jody, you got to hold your water." He's like, "Oh, I'll do it." I go, "Where'd you get that top?" He goes, "Oh, pocket full of tops." I've got all time.
He's just selling them out by the bathroom.
Yeah, dude, that was a real dumpster fire. I'm so glad that, I mean, thank God you didn't pay. Imagine you guys they won the Bills and you guys mustered up the $4,000 or whatever it was to make a wish your way into that goddamn stadium, and
Hey,
you
win or
watched
lose,
get.
I would have been happy to
Oh
see them
yeah,
there because once
uh-huh.
again, Sean McDermott has put Buffalo in a terrible position where he clearly folds in big games and can't get over the top, but he's winning so many games in the regular season and doing such a good job that you can't fire him. And we're watching Josh slowly waste away.
You know what? I can't necessarily disagree with you. I can't. I mean, it's at the point now where you have to look at yourself as a team where you're like, do we want to be Marty Schottenheimer at the helm of Philip Rivers, where, we win 10, 12, 13 games every single year. We go to the second round of the playoffs and we get bounced by the best team or the perceivable best team. Yeah, it would be a fucking travesty, dude, if in 5, 6 years from now, the Bills don't have a Super Bowl and wasted this guy's undeniably generational talent. And
Mhm.
so, unfortunately, like you look at a guy like I would look at him and be like, I don't know I'm not the guy. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I do everything I can do to get us to that point, but there might be a guy you need to hire that just goes, we got to, like, this is the last step. I don't know who that person might be,
I'm
but
happy they
I'm
kept
telling you,
Brady. The
when you
fact
see
that
guys
Brady
like
stayed on
Carroll
is
getting a
big.
job this year, like
Hmm.
Pete Carroll got a job. Okay. Mike McCarthy will get another job
Yeah.
because he knows what it's like. It's like Mike McCarthy's the biggest comp to fucking what's his name, McDermott, because it's like, but at least Mike McCarthy's got one Super Bowl. He can say, like, I can do this. We've done it. Although it was my quarterback mostly, I can get us there. You got a great quarterback there. Like, I wouldn't be thrilled, but if Mike McCarthy was available next year, it might be a person you might want to look at, because without Jerry Jones breathing down his neck and the autonomy of having the ability to go, okay, well, I can do things the way I want to do it necessarily. You might have a person like that with Josh Allen go, fuck, dude, let's go. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. In my mind, I'm like thinking, you've said this before, and I've always been like, who are you going to get? What are you going to do? But unfortunately, we might be at the point where it takes a certain guy to be able to do that. And until you prove you are that guy, a la McVay, like, until you can go, I won one, I bet you the 49ers are doing the same fucking thing, dude. I bet you the 49ers are going, this guy might get us to the game every time, but is he the guy that's going to win us the game?
Well, all I'll
Before
say
this
is,
year, I used to think it wasn't necessarily true, but when you look at it now, you go, okay, you might need a guy. Now again, you have you you have what's his name? The Eagles coach this year, uh
Sirianni.
Sirianni, who, lost one, but at least he got to one, and then this year he won.
Well,
If
he
if if
lost it, but it
McDermott
was
got to one,
very close, and he lost on a very
yes,
controversial call. So it wasn't like he hadn't gotten to the Super Bowl. He got
yeah.
them to the Super Bowl. McDermott has lost four
McDermott is
games to
one
the
year,
Chiefs
yes,
as a defensive guru, like genius coach, and he gives up 34 points a game.
yeah,
Meanwhile, his offense is giving him 32 points a game.
yeah. It's stupid.
And then he got his
Stupid.
ass kicked at home by Cincinnati, 27-10. I mean, where's the defense? The run defense has
No,
not existed for several seasons. They can't stop any kind of mobile quarterback that can move outside the pocket and throw downfield. He's not making adjustments.
um,
And now James Cook wants 15 million. He unfollowed the Bills on Instagram, and
this is when it gets hairy now.
yeah, so
It's not a great thing to do, though. You look, I mean, I understand 15 million a year. Who are you? Like, you're not Saquon Barkley, dude. Come on,
exactly.
bro. You gotta live in a real world. Just
So
because of
maybe,
running backs had some great years this year, you're not gonna get
yeah,
more than Derrick Henry.
maybe they
Like, you had
can
a great year.
make an incentive base, like here's your base salary of 7 million, and you can earn another 8 million by getting this many yards, this many carries, this many
Yeah.
touchdowns, etc. Hopefully they can retain him. But if he walks, I think they need to focus a lot of the salary cap and a lot of the free agency on fixing the defense,
Yeah.
because Josh has shown he doesn't need a whole lot to become the
No.
second highest scoring offense in football.
No, dude. You give him a decent running back, a good offensive line,
Ray Davis is
and
a
a
decent
couple
running
weapons.
back.
Yeah, he's amazing, dude. He will take you to the promised land. You got to straighten up that fucking defense
Fix
and
the
lock shit
fucking
down.
defense.
Lock it down.
I want to throw out there, this is not related, but there was a bettor that took almost $500,000 from Caesars, $10 bet. He made a 17-leg NBA parlay and hit all 17 legs. $10 he turned into $484,223.
When did this happen? Recently?
This was a few nights ago. It was
Wow.
he took the Lakers minus 13.5, the Warriors -6, the Hawks +5, Celtics -5.5, Nuggets -9, Thunder -15.5, Cavs -9, Wizards +11.5, Kings +1, the Nets on the money line, Celtics Heat under 219, Wolves Cavs under 228, Trailblazers Nuggets over 233, Hawks Magic under, Pelicans Thunder.
Oh, you know what? It was at the last. It was probably the last game before the All-Star break where every team plays.
Yeah.
Holy shit, dude. Holy shit.
So yeah,
I mean, what were there? I can't. There's too many games to go
that's
through there, but like, I'm
way
sure there were
too
some
many
serious
games.
close calls.
Yeah, there had to have been.
I mean, how many fucking things? You must
But
just.
for
I would make
$10,
that bet and then just take a NyQuil and go to sleep. Like, how could you possibly track all the like? It would give you a
dude, you won
heart
your
attack.
Super Bowl bet and you found out a week later.
I know. It's amazing.
But
That's
that was
awesome.
just, I wanted to throw that out because that was impressive. And Luka with LeBron will be fun once they
It's going to be
get some
fun
chemistry. But it
once
was,
everyone gets together.
I don't know a lot about basketball, but so the Mark Williams trade fell through because he failed a physical, so he reverts back
Failed
to
his physical
Charlotte.
twice. Yeah, he goes back because it's almost like the inspection of a house. You know, when you buy a house, it's like, all right, we bought it. Then they do the inspection. And they're like, hey, this is not what we thought it was, like this, that. And then, there's do we want to pay for it? You go, no, you can back out. So they backed out. And that's the Mets did that a couple years ago. Remember they offered Carlos Correa a deal and then like they took pictures of his ankle and they were like, we don't like the way this looks. And they backed out of it. Speaking of backing out, I think HBO is a one and done on the Hard Knocks Inside the GM. I think the Giants were so bad that literally no one wants to or thinks it's a good idea to go put themselves on camera.
Joe
could it have gone any worse?
That was, how do you not get fired from that? how does Rooney look at that? Or Mara, what's his name? Mara, whatever.
Mara, John
And
Mara.
how does he not look at that and then see how the season played out and not fire him? He made him
Yeah,
look bad. He made the organization look bad. And Saquon Barkley is on a parade float right now. Literally right now,
no,
he's on a parade float, drinking beer and holding a trophy.
it's funny because I don't know if it's John Mara is like gun shy or whatever, but it's like, remember the last time he like Manning was had the record, and then who was our fucking head coach with the mustache? Was it a mustache or I don't know? It was like he was a
McAdoo?
cord. Who? McAdoo that he benched Eli and put in Geno Smith, and Mara was just like, dude, what the fuck you did? And then they fired him like a couple weeks later after the season was over. And so that was like when Mara has a guy like Eli was his guy. Like he said, Saquon is my guy, dude. Like he is my guy. He's someone that he'd be the last man cut from this team if I could make up my own roster. And you want to get rid of my guy? It's like you're going to get rid of my guy. You better be right. He did. It was so wrong, so wrong.
And it was very
So
publicly wrong, not something that
yeah,
people will just forget about. Because that
I don't want
clip,
to have a $40
mega
million
viral.
quarterback handing the ball to a $15 million running back. Meanwhile, in Philadelphia, where they just won a Super Bowl, they have a $50 million quarterback handing the ball to a $15 million running back
Yeah.
and nobody tackles him.
Yep.
Now, that's not going to translate over to our dumpster fire, but who paid the first guy the $40 million? Fuckface?
Yeah.
Positive outlook.
Sorry
Positive
that you
vibes.
had to watch all that play
I
out.
brought
but
it up because I think it's going to be. Well, I enjoyed it.
I don't necessarily need it. I like the in season a lot more. If they can keep doing that, that's a lot of fun, especially if they just do a whole division that's very competitive.
That's better.
That was a lot more fun, and I like the training camp. I enjoy that. But the GM, it was interesting, but I
You
think after
might
a
just
while,
want to cover the draft. I would say just
yeah,
do the draft. There's less receipts with the draft.
and
The road
go to
to the draft.
multiple teams, see
When
the
we're talking
drama, see
about
some phone calls.
free agency shit, and then it's like a soap opera. And
Mhm.
although it's a soap opera is fun to watch, nobody wants to do it when it's real lives at stake and there's real fucking consequences. And so that's what it is. So you might just want to be like, we don't even talk about free agency. We don't bring it up. You can't film anything on the boards as to who we're looking at. This is about our search for the next, all pro Giants in the draft or whatever team. That's what that I think would be. You get much more receptive people to that. You're still going to have people that are dead wrong. Oh, I think this quarterback sucks. Or Shadur Sanders, you're going to have, there's still going to be a lot there, but at least you're not talking about like, I don't know, franchise players. It couldn't have gone worse for them. So
Yeah.
it's over. I think that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
And speaking of over, it's like now we have time to rest. Now we have time to recover.
Nonsense. The next season's already started. Aaron Rodgers is out of a job. Russell
know.
Wilson's probably going to Vegas to reunite with Carol. Like there's a lot of
That's
moving
not going to
pieces.
go well.
Very exciting.
That's not going to go well.
We had who was it? Toomey that retired this morning. So we lost
Wait, Kadarius Toney, who
no,
beat his girlfriend, or
no,
that
no.
guy, or
No, our offensive lineman.
oh, retirement's fine though, dude. You want retirement, like
Yeah,
that way
Tony,
you
my
have
God.
salary cap space. Tony.
Did Schoen draft him?
No, it was
So
Gettleman.
that was the guy
It
before?
was the year.
Okay.
It was the year of Micah Parsons.
Hmm.
They fucked that up big time. God, did we fuck
You
that
guys
up?
have just you've had a bad run. But you got your Super
It's
Bowls.
over now.
I would trade the
It's over.
bad runs to have a couple of Super Bowls.
I think I would too. I think I would, even though I'm in this fucking bottomless pit of hell right now. I think I would too. I don't know. I mean, dude, I can't imagine what
How
it's
would
like
you
to go
not?
be that good and not like
We're just on the edge every year. And
I
that was
know.
after being not in the show for 17 years. Like just a horrible drought to
I'm
so
starting to
close,
feel like a Bills fan with the
dangling
Yankees,
the
but
carrot.
At least I have joy in my life remembering the Yankees, the old teams.
27
But yeah,
championships.
yeah, I know.
Buffalo
We'll be all
has
right.
0 between their professional football and hockey teams. I mean, unless you go back before the NFL merged.
It's fantasy golf season, and that's where my focus goes to now.
Here's where
I'm
we
killing
turn
my
out.
head. You know what? People don't even want me in their heads up, and I get rejected from DraftKings. Like they don't.
Because you're just crushing
I'm too
everyone?
good,
Yeah.
killing people, dude.
It's awesome, isn't it?
I'm destroying lives every week. Taylor Pendrith, no one knows who that was. I know who it was. I know who it was. I can't wait. I'm getting excited. And then spring training's back. Pitchers and catchers reported.
Mhm.
It's 82 degrees down in Tampa. They're loving life down there. We're gonna have a strong team again, and fuck the Dodgers. Even though the entire team looks like, how are all these play? How are they going to make a 24-man roster with like 35 All Stars? I don't get it, but they're going to try. That's it. Oh, by the way, next weekend I'm in Denver, Colorado. If you're listening to this and you live in the Denver, Colorado area, Comedy Works South. No, Comedy Works Downtown. The best, the one under the ground. It's awesome. I got one show Thursday, 2 Friday, 2 Saturday. Some of them are sold out, so get your tickets now because they'll be sold out. So
Just be careful because you're falling up the stairs this week. You'll be falling down them next week.
slip sliding, dude, between skiing and Denver next weekend. I'll be lucky if I can make it through the next week and a half alive. Do you guys have anything you want to plug?
This won't come out in time, but I got a couple of shows tonight. Store and the Ice House.
Well, good luck. Lucas, anything you want to throw in, plug?
Yeah, nothing.
No? All right. I love you guys.
Yeah,
and
happy
you know
Valentine's
what?
Day.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, bitches. And even though this probably won't come out on Valentine's Day, you're all our Valentines.
I'm in control of it now.
Oh yeah,
and
you're
I want to
the puppet
apologize.
master.
So
What happened?
I got handed over the reins to upload last week's episode, and I love Jake. He was doing us a huge favor. But apparently, every episode since Thanksgiving was set to private. So they weren't, the audio wasn't the YouTube, they were all up, but the audio was not out. So then last week when I uploaded the Super Bowl preview episode, we put like 6 episodes live all at the same time. So
Look at that.
yeah, the sloppy pod continues to be as sloppy as you're not paying us to be.
Do we think that giving away Emma was a real misstep?
So this will go up. I will do my best. I'm learning how to do it too at the same time. I haven't done it before, but
Dude,
I'm figuring
you're
it out.
fine.
I'm a real-time producer.
If you left it up to me, I just throw the computer out the window and say, "Everybody watching on my computer." It's right outside.
You
So
just go to the show and hold it up on your phone.
find it. You can find it. I love you guys. That's the podcast for this week. We'll upload it when we upload it, and we'll see you when we see you next. All right. Enjoy.
Go Bills.
Thank you very much for joining me. How you been? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Steve Renazizi. I'm the guy.